Here's another poisonous plant, the Solomon's lily, also known as the priesthood or the black calla lily. It is a type of arum flower which are all very well known for smelling bad, the same way that rotting meat smells. This is to attract flies, which are the main pollinators of this flower. So it actually has a very interesting mechanism of pollination. When the flies are attracted, they kind of crawl down into that cup, thinking that they are getting a nice meal from this plant, which does smell like its favorite food, corpse. But instead, it actually gets trapped in the bottom by the anthers of the plant, which are the male reproductive parts that produce pollen. The anthers then produce pollen, which falls onto the flies and gets stuck there. The flies are typically trapped in this plant for about 24 or so hours until the anthers are finished producing pollen, and then they kind of just shrivel up and drop off, at which point the flies can then crawl out of the lily. Then, since the flies have not learned their lesson, what usually happens next is they fly over to the next Solomon's lily and do the same thing over and over again, except in these cases they are now depositing the pollen from the initial flower into the new flower. And then plant reproduction happens and you get more Solomon's lilies, and the flies don't learn their lesson and they also don't really get a meal. So no benefit to the fly, but lots of benefit to the plant. As I mentioned before, that this plant is toxic, and rather toxic in low doses. However, it is, as far as I'm aware, not fatal. It contains things like calcium oxalate, which is very, very irritating to the skin and mucous membranes. This is mainly in the leaves, and exposure to the raw plant will result in irritation of the mucous membranes, such as the mouth and eyes, as well as, if consumed raw, it can cause things like nausea, cramping, diarrhea, and a whole lot of other fun things. However, this plant is also used as food in the Mediterranean by many people, because the calcium oxalate is leached out during cooking, making it completely safe to eat. It also has medicinal uses, and in the area it has been used to treat anything from cancer to parasites to STDs. So all in all, this is a very interesting and well-rounded plant.